Let's talk Stil'rs. It's kickoff time for the Cigar International's Let's Talk Stil'rs show. Sponsored by Cigars International. Stop by our Bridgeville store today. Parking Chair Vodka. Respect the chair. It's a Pittsburgh thing. Forest Lodge and Campground. Cooks Forest, PA. Your adventure starts here. Visit Canton, Ohio. Red Fox Winery and Lounge.
As you know, yesterday Coach Tomlin and I met, and Mike informed me of his decision to step down as head coach of the Pittsburgh Stil'rs. And it was an emotional day for everybody in our organization yesterday. Mike's been a great leader of our franchise now for 19 years and led us with toughness, integrity, and always reflected the values of our organization. I think you all know his many accomplishments, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl victory, many AFC North titles, and many, many wins. And bottom line was, we were always in contention with Mike, and that's what counts. More than his accomplishments, Mike was a steady and respected leader, cared deeply about our players, our staff, and the whole Stil'rs organization. He represented the Stil'rs with class and dignity every single day. And on behalf of my family, everyone connected with the Stil'rs, I want to thank Mike and his family for being part of Stil'rs football for the last 19 years. We'll always be grateful. And now I'll be...
Coach Tomlin, let's go for the win, man.
69 and a half, but who's counting? Sweezum's kickoff. Fielded at the goal line by Jones.
Look out.
Jacoby Jones gets by Sweezum. And taken down at the 27-yard line. Only Cortez Allen stood between Jones and the goal line. Touchdown saving tackle.
What a play by Cortez Allen to give his team a chance. This thing opens up wide open, and they've got a blocker in front for Sweezum. They had no chance whatsoever, and Cortez Allen is basically keeping the Stil'rs in this thing. Well, here we go. Here's Tomlin over here. Obviously, Jacoby Jones there, and Tomlin is essentially on the field here, and you just wonder, he's trying to get out of the way there, but did that force Jacoby Jones to lean back into the tackle by Cortez Allen? Don't want to in any way say that was something intentional, but if he had picked off the official on that play or touched the player, either way, that's a big penalty. He's looking the other way, but glancing back over his shoulder. But you can see he kind of did force Jacoby Jones back into the field, a little mission accomplished almost. And he's snickering. I mean, my man, he's a player now.
Coach Tomlin, let's go for the win, man.
Hello up, Stil'rs Nation, it's Tank. Let's talk Tomlin. Wow. So much to talk about here on Let's Talk Stil'rs this week as the season comes to an end, but more importantly, the career of Mike Tomlin as your head coach of the Pittsburgh Stil'rs. Yeah. I mean, hey, okay, let's talk about the Texans game. Your Pittsburgh Stil'rs got their asses whooped and lost in the playoffs again under Mike Tomlin. End of story. Moving on. In other big news out of the South Side, that's where your Pittsburgh Stil'rs practice. That's where decisions are made. That's where the brain trust gathers. Tomlin is gone. Now, there are 2 sides to his legacy moving forward. It's simple. You know that. It's either he is in the line of great Steelers coaches, beginning with Chaz the Emperor Nolan, 4 Super Bowls, on to Bill, I'll rip your throat out, cower, and Mike Tomlin. Mike Trip 'em Up Tomlin. That's your side of the story, right? You love Tomlin. I'm actually calling it the TDS. You know, like Trump derangement syndrome. There's people out there with Tomlin derangement syndrome. They are angry this week. They are upset. They are viscerally attacking anyone that dare speak out against the great Wizard of Tomlin. TDS, Tomlin Derangement Syndrome. I know we're going to get into this in a second segment because I penned a story for our Let's Talk Steelers Facebook page, social media. I think it was pretty well written. In fact, 90% of the people thought it was well written. You'll be your own choice. But the people with TDS, Tomlin Derangement Syndrome, oh boy, they did not like that story. A lot of people don't like having a mirror put up in front of their face and shown the truth. Da-da-da-da. I want to start with Art Rooney's comments. I mean, what else was he going to say? But Mike has conducted himself with great integrity, with great honor, represented the values of our Pittsburgh Steelers. Then I immediately went to the clip of Tomlin using the F word at an adoring, admiring fan in a tunnel. Who was that fan, do we know? Was he some drunk that found his way into a tunnel? I doubt it. Was he a special needs person that was given access to the tunnel and the game that day and maybe was going to meet Mike Tomlin after the game and Mike Tomlin's his hero? Obviously, for that person to be in that tunnel, they were credentialed by the NFL and the Steelers to be there. You saw Tomlin's response. Class, real class, right? Real class there, buddy. Easily distracted, I'd say. Easily distracted. All Tomlin had to do was nod his head, go back to work. Nah, had to strike out at him, huh? Just like he did every reporter that dare ask him a football question in a weekly press conference. Sure, you could ask Mike Tomlin in a press conference, how do you feel? How do you feel about Chris Boswell's hurt ankle? How do you feel? And he'd come up with some goofy comment, like if my aunt had my uncle's parts or whatever that was. But if you ask Mike Tomlin a real football question in a press conference, man, he'd get his ire up at you. It's his prerogative. It was his prerogative. You can act any way you want. I don't pay you. Steelers Nations never wrote a check. Hypothetically, you did by every towel, every jersey, every seat you bought, every fudgesicle, every Klondike bar you paid a salary. Again, Art Rooney takes to the stand and says, with great dignity and pride, he represented our values. Really? That includes trying to, trip the Ravens player? Seriously? Seriously. Not since Woody Hayes threw his elbow into that Florida Gator's throat back in 1902 as a coach disgraced himself. Or do you all just want to, you people with Tomlin derangement syndrome, TDS, just want to forget about that? What if that had gone the other way? What if Tomlin, and don't forget, the NFL did fine him $100,000 for that back in 17. Yeah, the league said, yeah, you can pretend to say you just walked on the field, but what we saw, we saw. A lot of people seem to be living in an alternate universe despite what the facts are and what is true and on film. That's the value and ethics that you're talking about, Art? That's the kind of guy you know? What if he had Tomlin had tripped him? Really, really tripped him. And the guy blew out his ACL. It'd be a whole different legacy for Mike Tomlin. You know, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Don't pull the pin on that hand grenade. It may go off. And when that hand grenade goes off, we're all foobarred. What if that Ravens player had been tripped by Mike Tomlin? Torn his ACL. Do you think the fine would have been $100,000? Do you think Art Rooney would have told Mike, don't worry about it, you're still upholding the values and standards of our Pittsburgh Steelers? Hey, you're listening to Let's Talk Steelers. This week it's called Let's Talk Tomlin. No doubt about it. As I said earlier in the show, you either come down on two sides this week. Either the TDS Tomlin derangement syndrome people that don't you dare speak ill of Mike Tomlin. He is a god, a football coaching god. I mean, I've seen it all over Facebook this week. I've seen the visceral anger and even hatred. All kind of Facebook posts. You people got what you wanted. He's gone now. Now you're going to see when you go the 20 seasons without a playoff. The visceral support TDS Tomlin derangement syndrome people. Or you could be in my camp and know that history in a 20,000 foot view gives you perspective. Oftentimes in life, when we make a decision or an opinion, it's in the heat of the moment. We reflect on it years later and we go, my God, was I wrong? Boy, was I wrong. Should have never broke up with Kim Kineski. Or whoever. You know what I mean. Oh my goodness, I should have never done this. Or what if I would have done this? That's called perspective. Intelligent people tend to do that. You know, should always be reevaluating how you got to where you're at in life. You know, giving an honest assessment, because the old saying, those who don't remember the past are doomed to repeat it. Again, you're listening to Tantlinger here on Let's Talk Steelers. So I'm going to shift into my opinion right now, which, and again, in the second segment, we're going to get into that article I wrote about Tomlin. 90% of the people agreed with me. Look, Mike Tomlin was an average football coach. An average football coach. I know he won a Super Bowl with Bill Cowher's team. Okay, I know he went back to a second Super Bowl on the strength of Ben Roethlisberger's arm. Mike Tomlin was an average football coach who got handed the keys to a Maserati, Jaguar, Porsche in Bill Cowher's team. More so, at that time, one of the best organizations in the league, with a great scouting department, still is a great scouting department. He was handed maybe one of the greatest defensive geniuses of all time in Dick LeBeau. Future, the only Well, you can't even call it a coaching tree because Bruce Arians came from Bill Cowher. Later, Bruce Arians went on to win a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay and is regarded as one of the best offensive coordinators of all time. I make the proposition that any average coach could have succeeded and won the Super Bowl in Tampa on the strength of Bill Cowher's team, Ben Roethlisberger, Ben Roethlisberger, Ben Roethlisberger. Let me say this again, Ben Roethlisberger. I'll juxtapose that thought with this. Bill Belichick was supposed to be a genius. We now can pretty much accurately say with 90% certainty that Tom Brady made Bill Belichick. Right? Tom Brady made Belichick. I'll say it again. Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger made Mike Tomlin. An average football coach, a mediocre football coach, who was handed the keys to a Maserati and was the beneficiary of a great organization, great scouting department, and the arm of one of the top 25 quarterbacks ever play the game and a future Hall of Famer in Ben Roethlisberger. There's so much to unpack about Tomlin. And again, the TDS people, Tomlin Derangement Syndrome, people, they're angry right now. They're pissed off. They really are. How dare you even evaluate it? It is without uncertainty that his 19-year tender is brilliant. 190, whatever, 3 wins. Huh. Really? Really? All right, I'm Tank Tantlinger. We're going to listen a little bit more what Art Rooney II had to say down there on the south side in regards to, excuse me, I can't even say it. Can't even believe it. Mike Tomlin's departure.
As you know, yesterday, Coach Tomlin and I met, and Mike informed me of his decision to step down as head coach of the Pittsburgh Stil'rs. And it was an emotional day for everybody in our organization yesterday. Mike's been a great leader of our franchise now for 19 years and led us with toughness, integrity, and always reflected the values of our organization. I think you all know his many accomplishments, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl victory, many AFC North titles, and many, many wins. And bottom line was, we were always in contention with Mike, and that's what counts. More than his accomplishments, Mike was a steady and respected leader, cared deeply about our players, our staff, and the whole Steeler organization. He represented the Stil'rs with class and dignity every single day. And on behalf of my family, everyone connected with the Stil'rs, I want to thank Mike and his family for being part of Stil'rs football for the last 19 years. We'll always be grateful. And now, obviously, we turn to our search for our next head coach. Omar and I will lead the search, and we'll rely on others in the organization to help as we go forward. So look forward to getting started with the search and starting with the next chapter of Stil'rs football. So.
Let's talk Stil'rs. It's kickoff time for the Cigar International's Let's Talk Stil'rs show. Sponsored by Cigars International. Stop by our Bridgeville store today. Parking Chair Vodka. Respect the chair. It's a Pittsburgh thing. Forest Lodge and Campground. Cooks Forest, PA. Your adventure starts here. Visit Canton, Ohio. Red Fox Winery and Lounge.
I'm very pleased to introduce the next coach of the Pittsburgh Stil'rs, Mike Tomlin.
It's a great honor to be a part of one of the most storied franchises in all of professional sports. What we are going to do is promise to have a first-class blue-collar work ethic and how we approach our business.
Professionalism, integrity, consistency, words like that describe this organization.
You gotta love this if you're a competitor, don't you? Let's go do the damn job.
Today you did it and did it big. Love this football team, man.
The Pittsburgh Stil'rs win the AFC title game right here in Heinz Field, and this crowd has loved every single moment.
We win the game. This is a legendary defense.
It's going to be picked off. James Harrison has it, and that's a touchdown from Pittsburgh. Santonio Holmes, I don't know how he did it.
And in only his second year, Mike Tomlin has won the Super Bowl.
Let's go. Have some fun today. You need to continually be a guy on the rise. Let's rise up. That is a reasonable expectation. Let's go! Yes! Show the champions you are right here. Don't blink. I ain't blinking. Don't you blink. This ain't a lightning strike, man. You built for this.
Everything they do is with their heart. That's how they play. That's why I love them.
200 wins in the NFL right here. 200 wins.
Coach Tomlin, let's go for the win, man.
69 and a half, but who's counting? Sweezum's kickoff. Fielded at the goal line by Jones. Jacoby Jones gets by Sweezum. And taken down at the 27-yard line. Only Cortez Allen stood between Jones and the goal line. Touchdown saving tackle.
What a play by Cortez Allen to give his team a chance. This thing opens up wide open, and they've got a blocker in front for Sweezum. They had no chance whatsoever, and Cortez Allen is basically keeping the Steelers in this thing. Well, here we go. Here's Tomlin over here. Obviously, Jacoby Jones there, and Tomlin is essentially on the field here, and you just wonder, he's trying to get out of the way there, but did that force Jacoby Jones to lean back into the tackle by Cortez Allen? Don't want to in any way say that was something intentional, but if he had picked off the official on that play or touched the player, either way, that's a big penalty. He's looking the other way, but glancing back over his shoulder. But you can see he kind of did force Jacoby Jones back into the field, a little mission accomplished almost, and he's...
Coach Tomlin, let's go for the win, man.
snickering. I mean, you know, my man, he's a player now.
Coach Tomlin is gone. My life is over. TDS, Tomlin Derangement Syndrome, people losing their minds this week. They're beside themselves. Mikey Tomlin, little Mikey's gone. I've seen their social media posts. You people that wanted him gone, you'll see now. You'll never get another head coach. You'll never be in the playoffs again. I hope you get what you deserve. I have Mikey, TDS, Tomlin Derangement Syndrome. How dare you speak ill of anybody? How dare you, Tank, play the video of him almost tripping the Ravens player in a classless act. Again, what if he does trip him? He got fined $100,000 for that crap by the league. What if Tomlin does trip him? What's the fine then? Do you still suffer from your TDS, Tomlin Derangement Syndrome, after that? That's my head coach. He likes to trip people. Him and Woody Hayes, who punched that guy in the throat back in '81. Dropping F-bombs on fans. He's gone now. And I tell you what, you TDS people, we will spend, until the new coach gets here, time dissecting the 19 years of Mike Tomlin. Okay? Don't tell us, those of us who know that mediocre Mike was a mediocre coach who got lucky by getting the Steelers to hire him. Had he gone to the Bengals or Browns, he would have lasted 3 years. Now, I know that some of you never played a down of life football in your life, okay? You got your Stil'rs tattoo, you got your terrible towel, you wear your little bikini underwear with Steely McBeam on them, watch every game, okay? And I applaud that. No problem with that, all right? But just because you drank the Jim Jones in Guyana Kool-Aid about Mike Tomlin being as good as Bill Cowher or the Emperor Chaz Knoll, don't tell me I got to drink your Kool-Aid and drink TDS, Tomlin Derangement Syndrome. Okay? Mike Tomlin was an average football coach who got lucky to get hired by the Steelers. Now, whether that's a good thing or bad thing, I don't know. It was what it was for 19 years. But to us who don't have Tomlin Derangement Syndrome and didn't drink the Jim Jones Guyana Kool-Aid and see the forest through the trees, there's lots to hang your hat on, which I'm going to do over the next couple weeks. If you don't like it, turn off the channel. Go listen to ESPN instead of Fox Sports Radio. By the way, I'm Tantlinger. You're listening to Let's Talk Steelers. This week it's called Let's Talk Tomlin. God, I hope we get Gruden. Oh, please give me Gruden. It's a whole nother topic for another show. So, I'm going to throw something out to you, okay, for the rest of the segment. And you TDS people, you chew on this and think about it, okay? Mike Tomlin won his first Super Bowl with Bill Cowher's team and the strength of Dan Rooney's Stil'rs organization and scouting department behind him. There's no sin in that, okay? Dan Bylsma with the Penguins comes to mind. Got a franchise handed to him. There's no sin in it. It's what you do after that fact. Okay? It's driving Dick LeBeau, one of the greatest defensive minds out of Pittsburgh, like Tomlin did. It's like driving Bruce Arians to quit the game because he can't deal with your ego, Mike, and unretire and go win a Super Bowl. The last good offensive coordinator we had in Pittsburgh was Bruce Arians, a Bill Cowher hire. Without Ben Roethlisberger, Mike Tomlin doesn't last 5 seasons in Pittsburgh. But he had Ben Roethlisberger. And he also had free will to hire his 4 coordinators. I'll throw in Ken Wisenhunt there too as being a pretty good one. Todd Haley, Randy Fichtner, Mac Jet Sweet Canada Dry, and the recent moron, FedEx Arthur Smith. All hires by Mike Tomlin. Years wasted. I'm going to start with Haley because this is where the TDS people come in and go, oh, Todd Haley was a great offensive coordinator. No, he wasn't. You, the listener of this show right now, could have done no worse than Todd Haley did with the Killer Bees and that offensive line guided by Mike Munchak. Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Heath, Le'Veon Bell, an offensive line with Pouncey, DeCastro, Rangers lead the way, Villanueva. That's a hell of an offensive unit. And they put up great numbers. Despite Todd Haley. And when it counted, Todd Haley dashed your Super Bowl dreams. Now, I know the defense was suspect at that time, but I'm staying on the offense right now. You people that think Todd Haley was a good offensive coordinator are out of your mind. Again, you sitting there at home in your Steely McMahon Kangaroos could have led this offense as equally good as Todd Haley. It was that good. Now let me tell you who Todd Haley was, you people that say he was in a good OC. Todd Haley did not play a down of college football. Do you know that? He played college golf. I think at like 3 universities. He had a hard time in school. Didn't play down of college football. Wasn't even a 4th team walk-on scrub player. Now what does that mean? You the people that are going to rationalize, and if you don't understand the definition of the word, go ahead and look it up. Rationalizations. See, that's why Todd Haley ran Le'Veon Bell 42 times. 40 runs, 2 plays out of the backfield passes where he got smashed against the Bills 100 years ago. 42 times. You know who does that to a running back? A guy that's never been lit up on a football field. Earhold is back in the day we used to call it. A guy that's never been hit so hard on special teams that he fell down, got up, wobbled to the sideline, and puked. And his teammates said, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm fine." See, somebody that's never been lit up on a football field, especially by a pro athlete, who is big, strong, dangerous, and fast, dangerous being the key word and hits like a freight train, doesn't know that you don't run a running back 42 times against the Bills. You don't do it. Todd Haley did. You know, I forget the game, but the place in my head, it was to get, and I'll look it up for next week, to move forward in the playoffs, and we had about a half yard to go on 3rd down. You know, Big Ben's like 6'4", maybe 6'6", in cleats, going 240, and you had the best offensive line in the league. All you had to do is have Ben fall forward, and you got a 1st down. You know what the genius who never played football called? He pitched the ball out to the right about 5 yards deep in the end zone, in the backfield, and it got snuffed. That's what a guy who's never played football does. Todd Haley was not a good offensive coordinator. Neither was Randy Fiechner. Nice guy. No OC. Jet sweep, jet sweep, jet sweep, jet sweep, Matt Canada dry. This guy might go down as the worst OC in history. Then you were left with Arthur Smith. Wow, this week went so quick talking about Tomlin derangement syndrome. We're going to pick it up next week, and I'm going to keep throwing down the gauntlet. I have the right as a Steelers fan to do that. You people suffering from TDS, Tomlin derangement syndrome, and think you cannot speak ill of Mike Tomlin. He is a god amongst men. Rename the Lombardi to the Tomlin. TDS, Tomlin derangement syndrome. All right, I'm Tank Tantlinger. You're listening to Let's Talk Steelers. We'll be back next week. I'll be venting more about the wasted years wasted years under Mike Tomlin. We're going to go back to Art Rooney and listen to his spiel again. Please give me John Gruden, please!